Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Houseplantpixie. For everyone that's new to my channel, my name is Monique and welcome back to my existing subscribers. Today's episode, I'm super nervous. I sold one of my Variegated Monsteras. For everyone that hasn't seen the videos, I had a Monstera, I call it the Queen. I chopped her up because she was quite leggy, and this is one of her babies. Look how beautiful. And I sold it. Unfortunately, I didn't sell it locally, so I have to pack her up, and I'm super nervous about this because I really love this plant. I really cared that I sell it to someone who would like to see this plant established. So the buyer saw these 3 leaves, just a photo, how the photo was taken. You couldn't really see that was one of the first leaves, and I'm going to trim a tiny bit of the brown edges, considering this plant is like, this leaf is maybe 7 months old. It's done really well, and I said to the buyer, this is a good indication for when you water. Like, if you overwater a little bit, you will see it. I think I'm hoping that it will show in this leaf first. And you also have the clear pot. So I did give it a water yesterday. These are a little bit finicky. I will send the plant in the actual pot. I'll glad wrap it, and this is the package I'll be using. Can you see that? So that leaf is the reason why I'd like to send this with the potting mix or in the pot is simply because I don't want to disturb the plant. I want to minimize the shock, so I think it's best. I watered it yesterday, so those clear pots are just fantastic. You see when the soil is a little bit moist still, and for anyone that sees this root, it doesn't mean it needs a new pot. So what I told the person that bought this plant, I would wait. So when it arrives, I would put it in its spot, and I made sure it was a buyer with experience. I do care. I just couldn't sell a plant and then not care about it. So that person has a greenhouse cabinet, so we'll get the humidity and we'll get the needs it requires. And also, yeah, when you get a plant, let it adjust, give it a couple of months, see how it goes, and then if you see there's a few roots you can see here and a few there, but overall I wouldn't call this plant root bound, so I would just leave it in that pot. Variegated monsteras, they love to be snug in their pot, so just leave them. And if they're happy growing, no need to put it in a bigger pot. But if you see that it's, unless it's winter, that your plant isn't growing anymore or the growth is a bit stunted, then repot. This video is not about the care of Variegated Monstera. I wanted to make this video about how to wrap it and pack it up to send it. So yeah, I did send plants before, but I'm quite nervous about that one. So let's see how we go. Let's pack her up for postage. So I'm going to put some cling wrap over the base, so the soil won't stick to the tape. I'm going to go over the pot as well. So with the watering, I wouldn't water it too much, because when it's in transit, it won't get any light. So only when a plant does photosynthesis and produce the energy, you actually use the water. So just keep that in mind. So I've watered it a little bit yesterday, not too much, so it's not fully soaked. It's just enough. I know if this would get stuck in the mail for, I hope not, maybe a week, it will easily survive. Right. Cool. That's what I wanted. So I'm just going to put that in this bubble wrap. And then again, secure that so it won't move. I haven't done one thing I'll discuss with the buyer. You see that leaf there with a bit of browning. I promised I'll trim that a little bit. That leaf will be a very good indication if you're overwatering. It's done really well for being so white. That was one of the first leaves, and as you could see, it had very little browning. Mind you, I've only been watering this plant once a month. So, yeah, not too... You can do that with any plant, just trim some of the... But by saying that, when you trim those brown spots off, you need to know what was the cause. With that leaf, simply it's just because it's so white. They're gonna go. Any person that has a variegated monstera knows that. And I think, yeah, that was one of the first leaves, and look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. Nicely trimmed. Alright. Now, I'm just going to use one of those. I just want to buffer it out a bit to minimize the leaf damage. I think it would be okay without the... So when I did sand other plants before, I didn't really put the cotton buds in it. But yeah, with the variegation, I just want to make sure. I've never shipped one, so I'll just give it extra support so the leaves aren't getting kinked. It's looking pretty good. And I won't fully close up the top. And yeah, just have a look how the leaf is sitting, and so that one sits quite upright, so I won't even force it down. I will just wrap it as it is. Cool. Alright. Probably do a little tape here, and then I'll tape this part to the bottom of this box. So here's our plant, duct taped to the bottom, and this is how you do the test. It won't move. So I had to actually cut the box. So we'll secure that, tape that up, but now the plant won't move and the leaves won't get damaged. Right, it's all secured, and I just buffered up the top. Now I'm just gonna close the box and tape that up. I did use paper to just make some notes and write on it fragile. Alright, it's all wrapped up. I did write on here, handle with care, and where the top is, but I actually get the post office to put the big red fragile stickers on it. Yeah, I think that should make it safe. I'll give you an update once it arrives. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you next time. Until then, stay planty. Bye.